Let's see if LeBron can get some help. Scotty Pippen Jr. and Shaq's son,
Shareef O'Neal.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're going to help LeBron this season, maybe. Like, I don't know if they're going to be they're not going to be impact players necessarily this season. After we saw, they signed him on like a 2-way deal and like to a summer league contract. So ultimately, it's like prove it. You know what I mean? I like the risk though, because there's literally no risk involved. And I think anytime we just saw it with Gary Payton, the second with the Warriors. I think anytime you've got legendary blood in you like that, whether it's Gary Payton or whether it's Scotty Pippen or whether it's Shaq, I think it's good to bet on those guys excelling in the NBA if they are given the right opportunities.
Of course.
And I think we saw it with Gary Payton II. The Warriors, one of the best organizations in the league in terms of player development. And we saw, although it did take a long time, we saw where Gary Payton got to this season and was one of the main contributors in getting them to this championship. And now it's looking like he's going to get a big payday, not a big payday, but a decent payday somewhere else. So are the Lakers the team that can develop Scottie Pippen Jr. and Shareef O'Neal? I don't know. The Lakers are historically great with big men, so I do like Shareef O'Neal. Ultimately, Shareef O'Neal, it's more on him to develop himself. Can he build up that motor? Can he beat his man one-on-one? You know what I mean?
Who do you think is going to be better at the end of the day?
Between them two?
Between them two.
In the NBA.
In the NBA.
By the time their career is over.
Within the next 5 years.
I think I'm going to say Shareef O'Neal. I think Shareef O'Neal has a higher ceiling than Scottie Pippen Jr. I think Scottie Pippen could be an immediate kind of role player, like a bench guy. He'll get like a three. He can get you some threes. Probably needs to work on his defense. He's not a great defender. But if you need some scoring, like I'm thinking like a Peyton Pritchard from the Celtics, the white, you remember him.
Yeah, I think Shareef O'Neal will be better as well because he's a big man that can shoot.
Exactly.
And he can take the ball up court, so he's quick on his feet.
Exactly.
It's dangerous.
It's really going to come down to his health because we know he had the heart condition.
And if he's going to put in the work.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think what's kind of halted his development is that injury.
Yeah.
Because before that injury, people were talking about him being a great NBA prospect, and then he kind of phased away because he had the unfortunate injury, and now he's back, and a lot of teams I don't think were willing to take that risk on him because of the health factor. The Lakers did as an undrafted rookie, and I love it for them. It's no risk at all. You know what I mean? No risk at all to sign Shareef O'Neal. And ultimately, I think it's going to be a good signing. But I do think Scottie Pippen is better right now at this moment. We saw it. He's a great three-point shooter, and he's more polished in terms of an NBA prospect.
For sure, I can agree with that.
But
I don't know. I don't think you're giving enough credit to Scottie Pippen Jr.
Nah.
No, I think he's a good all-around player, as in he can move the ball around court.
Yeah, he has really good court vision. We saw that on the tape when we were looking at his Vanderbilt. We saw his gameplay against our Gators.
Yeah,
playing for
and
Vanderbilt.
I respect court vision a lot. And he's where he has really, really good timing on defense. So I feel like he's going to master that craft, and he's going to be able to be a really, really good all-around player.
I really do think that if he can work on his defense, he could be a really good 3-and-D role player. I think that's kind of Scottie Pippen Jr.'s ceiling right now at this moment is a good 3-and-D role player. Ultimately, we'll see, if he can develop every aspect of his game. I think we're looking at, God knows the ceiling is this limit from there. You know what I mean? If you can develop your whole game.